guys, welcome back to Astroways face reading. The last episode we learned about eyebrows. Eyebrows are highly connected with eyes. They are the assistants of our eyes. At the end of last episode we mentioned that the gap between our eyebrows and eyes, it's the whole eyelid area from underneath the eyebrows to our lashes. This gap has a name in face reading. It's called the house of assets and properties. It has the same name as the fourth house in Western astrology. So a lot of metaphysicians will automatically think it has the same meaning as the fourth house in astrology. If you Google house of assets and properties in face reading, you get answers like, if you have a big distance between your eyebrows and your eyes, you tend to be rich. You can inherit assets from your family. You live in big houses. While people with narrow gaps, they have no inheritance. They live in small places or whatever. I just want to ask, so if a couple, one of them has big gap and the other one doesn't, does that mean one lives in a mansion and the other one lives in a shed? It doesn't make any sense. That's why I always say don't learn face reading from Google. So what does this house of assets and property mean? What it means is not real physical assets and properties. It means spiritual assets and properties. What dwells in our heart. It's internal, not external. It's abstract, not physical. People with big gaps are more spiritual, while people with narrow gaps, their eyebrows almost right on top of their eyes. These people, they don't easily believe in metaphysics. If you're watching this, if you're following my channel, I bet you don't have narrow gaps. If you have narrow gaps, I bet you don't believe in anything I say. That's why girls tend to have more gap comparing to guys, because girls tend to believe more in astrology than guys. So this is our house of assets and properties. It has nothing to do with money or how big your house is. Now let's move on to our main part of today, the eyes. Eyes is the most difficult part in face reading. There are so many different types of eyes. Everyone has different eyes. Eyes is almost like fingerprint. Everyone is different. Here I've tried to cover as many types of eyes as possible. But when it comes to eyes, no matter what shape they are, what color they are, the most important thing is the expression of them, the spirit of them. Some eyes, they're very small and narrow, but they're sharp as a knife. While some eyes can be ridiculously big, but they look dull and empty. There's no meaning to them. So for eyes, we'll still talk about different shapes here, but ultimately, you need to be able to capture the expression. That's the most important message, and the most difficult thing to learn in face reading. Okay, so eyes represents age from 35 to 40. The inner white of our left eye is 35 and the right one is 36. The left pupil is 37, right pupil 38, and the outer white of the left eye is 39 and the right one is 4. Our eyes are the main message of our health status. Healthy people, you can see their sclera. The white part is very white and clear. If your sclera is bluish, that means your lack of iron in your blood. If your sclera is yellowish, then you need to watch your diet. Try to improve your diet and get regular sleep. Don't drink or smoke too much. If your sclera has red veins, then you may have infection or blood circulation problem. Usually, that's in old people's eyes, or you have anger issue, etc. I'm sure doctors can tell you more about this. So that's the white of our eyes. The irises and pupils of our eyes are the most important parts. You can have big irises, which means the irises can take up a lot of room in your eyes. That means you're kind, you have a good heart. If you have small irises, that means you're a cruel person. You're heartless. You don't care much about other people's feeling. And the position of the irises also matters a lot in face reading. Basically, according to where your iris is located in your eyes, there are 4 types of positions. They're called 1 wide eyes, 2 wide eyes, 3 wide eyes, and 4 wide eyes. What? I know. Let me explain. Normal people, normal human being, most of us, we have 2 wide eyes. Our irises and pupils are in the middle, and we have wide parts on the left and right side of our eyes. 2 wide eyes are normal eyes. Then we have 1 wide eyes. 1 wide eyes is your sclera is showing on only one side in a normal status. What does that mean? That means you need to see a doctor. Then we have 3 wide eyes. 3 wide eyes has 2 different types. Upper 3 wide eyes and lower 3 wide eyes. Upper 3 wide eyes is your irises and pupils stuck on the bottom part of your eyes and leave the white space on the left, on the right, and the upper part. Upper 3 wide eyes basically means you're evil. I mean, look at these examples. You don't need me to tell you that. Then we have lower 3 wide eyes, which is the opposite of upper 3 wides. The irises are stuck on top when you're looking forward. Remember, it's when your eyes are in a normal status, not when you're rolling your eyes on purpose. The lower 3 wide eyes, this most common case we put on the table is Princess Diana. People have lower 3 wide eyes are either control freaks or very successful people, or both, because once they decide to do something, they stick to one part and they never turn back. They're quite stubborn people, but they're also very determined and motivated. And if you remember Princess Diana, she died at the age of 36, which was when she reached her eye area. 3 wide eyes people need to be very careful between the age of 35 to 40. Watch out for accidents and stuff. Then we have 4 wide eyes, which means you have white parts on the left, right, top, and bottom. Most of the time, the reason people have 4 wide eyes is because their irises are too small. And remember what I just said about irises being too small? Cruel and heartless. Don't care much about other people's feeling. Evil. And need to watch out for accidents as well. Next one is, eyes going up are optimistic people. They think about good sides first, while people with eyes going down tend to think about the bad things first. Next thing we're going to talk about is probably what most people have questions and curious about, which is regarding to different nations have different eyes. Asians are famous for having single eyelid, while the rest of the world have at least double eyelids. The most common plastic surgery in Asia is the eyelid cutting surgery. Now don't look at me. I never had any plastic surgery. My eyes were like this when I was born. And I'm Chinese. And I also know Europeans who have tiny little eyes. Having single or double eyelids has nothing to do with the size of the eyes. So what's the difference? Single eyelid people tend to be more shy, humble, and rational, while big eyes with double eyelids people tend to be more open, more emotional. You see, most European or American TV shows, 9 out of 10, have sex scene in the first episode. You don't see that in Asian shows. Most Asian TV shows, you're lucky to see a kiss in the last episode. However, does that mean single eyelid people have no needs? Single eyelid people have needs. They're just not acting out. They keep the emotion inside. They're more conservative. That's why most actors and actresses tend to have big eyes. Even in Asia, you Google famous actors in China, they all have big eyes. So that's the size of our eyes. But the size is just one thing. Besides the size, there are many different shapes of eyes. You have long, narrow eyes, you have rounded eyes, triangle eyes, wrinkly eyes, all sort of different shapes. It's just that we can't talk about all of them today. So I'm going to save them for the next episode. Okay? Okay guys, that's all for today. If you want to have your personal face reading with me, you can email me at astroways.info@gmail.com or find me on Facebook at Astroways. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to know more about metaphysics, please subscribe my channel and I can be updated.